Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week. We are going to be going over some charts. And just remember, if you want access to these chart setups and potentially ready patterns before the trading week starts, make sure to join the Stock Explain Discord. Link is going to be in the description below. Remember, you do get a 7-day free trial as well. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into the charts. So Eddie's going to start us right off with ACTG.
Hi everybody, Edsel here, and we're going to go ahead and start with ACTG, which is Acadia Resort. We entered here on this breakout candle right here. We had a stop loss here at about 50%, and we're still holding this uptrend line, so there hasn't we haven't violated this trend line, so we're still testing this resistance level, see if we break back out. We start falling below with conviction, because we did have this engulfing bearish candle, so if it does get confirmed, Friday was an inside candle also, but it could move from up from here to do some sideways. But if it does confirm and we start breaking this, we might take we might get out of this position before the stop loss hit and try to minimize this and just wait for it to break out again. All right, let's see. So the next one that we have here on our list is ChargePoint. We are looking at, we played it already. We played it in the low 20s, like 21 or 22, and we sold up here on the little spike here, and we've been waiting for it to come down between 19 and 20 again, and we did come down and test 19, and it did hold. So this one is a good option, might be a good option for Monday if we do start to see this bounce again off this $19 support. We do have bullish divergence here, or we have higher lows on the MACD and on the RSI. So we can see that we do have this kind of uptrend lines on both of them. So we're right on the RSI, we're right at the line, and MACD we're almost right at the line too. So we'll see if they start to bounce as well and kind of confirm this support level. CLSK, I know that we took a trade on this one. MoneyCam alerted this. We are testing this PRZ on this pattern right here, which is a bullish back pattern, and we do have some bullish uptrends on the RSI, and we do have a bullish uptrend. We're kind of like making higher lows on the MACD as well. So we did have this double bottom, which we like to see this in the PRZ. So we see that it's starting to move up, and we're starting to get bullish spikes in volume as well. We have one here and one here as well on August 23rd, and this last one on September 29th. So we do know that volume is starting to come in. And the MACD is starting to make a bullish crossover as well. RSI is starting to go above 50, so this one's actually looking really good for our entry.
And yeah, definitely, this one is it's interesting to note because while we are playing the technical chart setup with this, our options that we did alert are actually leaps all the way out for like 2023. Now we may not hold all the way until then, but this is actually a very interesting company in the mining space for cryptocurrencies, for Bitcoin especially. And we think that there is a really good fundamental long-term opportunity. So, when you have that kind of special mix of a good technical setup and a long-term fundamentals that are also pretty strong, it's a really, really good combo.
It is. It just when you're trading, you want to put as many eggs in your basket. You want to give yourself the best odds. So if you're picking a company that has good fundamentals and a good setup, technically, from a technical analysis point of view, then you're just stacking the odds in your favor. So you give yourself a bigger chance of success.
Definitely.
Let's see here. Our next one is going to be Coin. we did come down, and we are in the PRZ of the Gartley here. We did have an inside candle on Thursday, followed by a gap up from the day before. It did turn red, but I think that had a lot to do with the overall market conditions as well. But we do see BTC missing. We do see BTC breaking above this bullish flag right here, where we had this little mini downtrend and then kind of like a breakout after a rally here. So right here, we did have this breakout here on higher volume. We do have this. We did connect this high to this our next high here. We do have this downtrend that might be forming here, so we'll see if we come and test this level and break out of this downtrend. If we do, we could be testing 58 and 64,000 on Bitcoin, which would be really good for Coinbase. So the fact that we're in the PRZ and the Bitcoin's looking really strong, kind of is kind of putting upward pressure on coin as well. So,
and definitely this one is possibly one that we will be alerting for some long-term options as well. Just at least with the Q4 coming in, historically cryptocurrencies, especially the strong blue chip ones like Bitcoin and Ethereum, really perform very well and are very, very strong. So again, like Eddie said, just bring the eggs in your basket. We go with the momentum, and it's definitely showing up to potentially be a very strong trade.
We did have comp here, which is in this bullish back pattern here as well. It's in the PRZ of the first smaller pattern as well. We did break out of this downtrend that we had here with some with the strong volume coming in, and we are coming back to test this PRZ in these patterns here. So I'm eyeing this to see if we get another bounce. This downtrend that was resistance is now support, and we came down and tested it here, and we had a huge volume spike when it touched this line right here. So I'm keeping an eye on this one to see if we come down and test again. However, based on the RSI and the MACD, this one might need some more time. But the pattern is there. We'll see if the indicators start pointing, start giving us some buy signals as well. But this one's just back burner to see where it goes. CRSR came down to test this uptrend channel. We do have a position on this one, and when we came down and tested this uptrend Fibonacci level on the Fibonacci fan, and we broke out of this downtrend channel right here. So we had a position on this one. We came down, tested it again, started bouncing on this one. So I believe I added to my position on this one on Friday on the inside candle, just because I already have a long-term position on this one already from our original alert.
Yeah, I know Corsair is definitely one of your favorites, and they have really, really decent fundamentals as well. And we will be entering that holiday season. But I think, as you mentioned before, even before factoring in the whole stay-at-home situation that was imposed during 2020, it still had pretty strong fundamentals. So that's always something good to watch out for. So
yeah, this is a growing company.
Yeah, make good products too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's see here. We do have F-cell as well. We did have this downtrend that we broke. It's kind of like this kind of looks like a descending triangle, but it's not. It's actually a falling wedge because there's actually a degree to this one here. But we did have this breakout on this long volume, and I know there was a what's his name, C-Skill from the Discord that got in this one. He actually alerted the breakout on this one, and it's been doing pretty well. I've been keeping an eye on it. The indicators look really good on this. They're all on an uptrend. The RSI, the MACD, we have the MACD going above 0, and we do have volume coming in. it did move and break out. About after this breakout, it came back and closed below the 50 moving average, but then it moved sideways above its downtrend and then spiked and broke above the 50 moving average and came down. And on Friday, it closed above the 50 moving average. So I'm eyeing this one for a possible re-entry for me on this one if we do hold above the 50 moving average right here. Just on a technical perspective, this could come up and test either 788 to 830, or come up and test the 200 moving average. That's just on the chart alone.
And definitely, if we do get more, even just rumors of infrastructure being passed with some of those environmental provisions, that I think that news is enough to definitely throw traders into this. So I think that that target area of $11 isn't out of the picture.
Exactly. We do have HIMS here too. It's fundamentally it's a very strong company, and we had this breakout where we entered on a lot of bullish volume coming in. But ever since then, it's been kind of fell back. We do have a stop loss here of 671, but I'm planning if we do hold this as support level, I'm planning on adding here. We're playing this back up to the 50 moving average, but fundamentally, this is a very strong company. It's just kind of came back and is now it might test this support level, this breakout level support again. So support. So we'll see if it bounces. If not, we'll just take a loss on this one and stick to a stop loss and move on. Okay, IRND. This one did close on Thursday below our stop loss, a bit below our uptrend, but it didn't hit my stop loss yet. So I did end up adding here on when we came down. We added here. I believe we entered here and I added on this uptrend line. I believe I alerted that as well. So I added at about 41. And then the VIX has been really over 20. So I expect a lot of volatility. And since it didn't hit my stop loss, I didn't end up adding. So I'm trying to see if we start moving up, if we move up here and we don't break above this uptrend line, it might be a good little spike for us to sell into and kind of reduce our loss here. But if it does get back up on, then we'll just call it a fluke. And if we do get back above this, we should be able to start testing back up to 44, 46, or 48. LUMN, nothing has really changed since the last one. So we'll go ahead and skip this one. It's not really ready. It's kind of like on the weekly chart, and trying to see here we break above the 200 moving average on the weekly chart. So we'll go ahead and not spend too much time on this one. MLCO, there was news from China. I don't know if you heard, Money Man, but there was news from China that they're going to be easing on their on some of their on the crackdown, and the real estate started going back up. So MLCO is a real estate company in China, and has been in the lower end of this PRZ and this pattern here. Might be a good option. Maybe it's not for a long position, but it could be the news could be really welcoming, and we could see this bounce back up. I believe the pattern here, we're looking at a bullish crab. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of it was obviously due to the whole unfolding situation with Evergrande, which by the way is still, well, for now, I think it is contained to just China. We still have kind of a ways to go before we really understand the impact of it.
right.
But I mean, like, yeah, if we look at it like a week ago, like, man, that was a massive gap down, and we are in, I guess, what we could call a basing zone if you zoom in towards the bottom there. So I mean, we could potentially do some gap fill plays. Those I don't think are out of the picture, but this is also very news driven, so it does make it a little bit more challenging. But I mean, if there is no news that really comes out that's negative, then I mean, yeah, a gap fill play there is could be good.
Ooh, mRNA. We did have this double top. We ended up breaking. Below the double top. Me and Money Cam, we were talking about this before when it was up here, and I was like, we were talking about how it looked like a double top. And then we did come down here and we tried to break out. We also connected this as a possible triangle shape. And it did try to break out here. It had a big breakout and then came down and tested the bottom before just gapping down the next day. And now it's on our target one from our double top pattern that we saw before.
Yeah, Eddie and I are we really like the fundamentals of this company. We think they have a very good outlook. So this is one that we definitely want to own. Now, I think I mentioned to you last week when we were just talking, I think during Friday, I had an option on Moderna that I actually closed out for. It was like a solid 40 to 50% profit. But if I had held after that whole gap down happened with the and because the gap down actually happened not because Moderna did anything, but actually because Merck came out with a pill to, I guess, treat COVID, and it had a very good efficacy in their phase 3 trials, which is really exciting, really good news. But that definitely impacted the vaccine stocks. So yeah, that definitely caused that. But I think my option would have been up over like 400%.
Yeah, because you were shorting up here, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were
I
shorting all the
closed
way up here.
when we were kind of testing the that support level
Up
actually
down here.
a day or two before. Yeah. So
Yeah, well, it looked like it was going to reverse. I mean, we had an inside candle here right at support. That's usually a
yeah,
sign of a possible rebound, you know. But that news came out and just
yeah,
gapped it
and
right
and
down.
and, and this is really one of the things where with options that it's just completely out of your control. It's news.
Mhm.
So obviously news affects everything, but
Yep.
with specific charts, especially stocks that are so heavily news driven, like the vaccine stocks, you
Mhm.
really, it's never a bad idea to just take your profits because you never know what could happen.
Yeah, you never know. This was a support, and the next day could have gapped up, just because a lot of, you know, um, um, a lot of people, investors thought that it was a support. So usually when investors see that, and a lot of algos pick that up too. If you see a perfect example at APPS. We'll
Yeah.
just go to APPS right now. APPS was on broke this downtrend. The bigger picture, we do have an uptrend, and we do have a smaller downtrend here, kind of creating a symmetric triangle, symmetric uh, triangle, yeah. But we did have this downtrend, and we did break it here on a lot of volume. I mean, look at this. After it tested this support level over here, volume just started coming in crazy and kept going into the breakout level. In fact, broke above its 50 moving average and above the downtrend and above the 200 moving average, came down um, uh, to test the 200 moving average as support, and also this is also price support too. So came down, tested the support level, and then started bouncing back up on Friday after this inside doji candle right here.
And I guess while we're on APPS, because this was on our ready patterns, we actually did initiate a trade on this. So this is actually a very classic, your textbook play for a breakout. So what we were really watching was, so we didn't actually enter on the first breakout, and usually, unless you're just trying to scalp a position, you don't want to do that. So how you actually want to play these is you watch the first breakout happen. So, we saw the first candle, right? It broke out really good volume.
Hmm.
Um, and then it proceeded to go up for the next 3 days. And then it started to drop. And what we were waiting for is we were waiting for APPS to actually test that level of resistance that had now actually begun to turn into support. And when you see that level of former resistance turn into support and the stocks start to bounce with relatively good volume, that is like a really good buying opportunity. And we actually got a double bottom, if I'm not mistaken, um, on the new support level, right? The last 2 days, it bounced right off. And
Yep,
actually,
it did. Double bottom on the 1 hour chart. One,
yep.
two.
And actually, right now, if I'm not mistaken, we are up like I want to say like 5 to 7% of the stock, but definitely once we break past that, I mean, we have our initial targets, I think, around 74, 76. But if we could really break beyond 80,
If we break above 7660, we'll be going to this next resistance level at
around
80.88.
88, yeah. And if the volume is really that strong, because there was talk of a lot of institutional investment as well, then I mean we could potentially see this go back to 90s, 300. But you know, it's definitely, this is an exciting trade, and we're really glad we were able to identify this one and give it to our members.
Yeah, this has that potential to go to 93 to 102, and if it actually breaks above 100 and stays above 100, like it strongly breaks above $100, you know, it's kind of hard to fall below that unless they really mess up in their, you know, not the
Yeah.
quarter. Yeah, or a bad trial or something like that. Let's see. So we did MRNA, NBTA. I believe yeah. So this one is actually really looking really good. We do have this ABC pattern, or ABC equals CD, depending if it goes all the way up here and completes the D target at about 76. But so right now, for now, it's an ABC pattern, and we do have this pivot point here where we're watching to see if it's holding above. On the daily chart, though, we did have this downtrend after it made this point, this pivot point down here, our lowest point on this last downtrend. We did have a series of lower highs, and we did connect those to form a downtrend, and we broke above the downtrend, came back, tested it, came back up, created a double top, came back and tested it again, and started bouncing again on Friday. So I am watching this one. Let's see, go ahead. I am watching this one to see if it's going to keep going. We did have like an inverted hammer doji here. We did have a hammer doji here as well. So we do have this uptrend on the RSI and the MACD. So this one's starting to look like it might be just about ready. Open Technologies is still testing 200 moving average. Did break up of this. We had this resistance level where we entered 1867 or something, I believe. Broke out, came back down, and used up an offering on this one, but came back up, re-broke that, and we broke the 1994 on the cup and handle that formed after the breakup from that resistance point. Came back and is now testing the 200 moving average. So this one is still sitting right between support and right below resistance. So if we start breaking above this 200 moving average, I don't see any reason why we can't hit the cup and handle target of $23 to $24 on this one. So this one's actually looking really good for another re-entry.
Definitely.
TSLA, I don't believe we entered that one on short and it's kind of put below it. So this one, if we do get a rebound here and gets rejected, this might be another a good one to short actually. And then we would have already retested that as, you know, resistance instead of now support. Kind of like that breakout move you're talking about, you know, how we come back and test.
Yeah, except this case it's the downtrend, but the principle is still the same. Yeah.
Exactly. PLTR, I believe I had it on my long position on this one. We are coming up to test this uptrend line. We did break below it, but we did have an inside candle doji in this one. So sometimes we get this straight breakout. So we'll see what happens. This one's a long-term hold for me no matter what.
Yeah, this one we actually, so this was a similar breakout trade, and we actually added an initial position, or at least I alerted around 27.47, because it looked pretty good. But then obviously there was just some other events that occurred. I know there was a little bit of insider selling that did happen. So that definitely did drive the price down, and also just the general volatility regarding
inflation.
And inflation, yeah. But this is still, the fundamentals are still very strong. So, you know, we're definitely still holding. In our options, actually, we ended up doing weeps on this. I actually bought 2024 leaps. So definitely we're in it for the long term. Chart
Yeah,
trend is
yeah,
contact. We have quite a bit of room too. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll buy this all the way down to like 10 if I have to. I really do believe this company is into something big, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see, PRLB, we're still eyeing this 100% replacement level down here. We haven't quite gotten there yet. Let's see, 63.34, but we're very close. Like I said on last week, but we do have enough, like a bullish crossover on the MACD, and I'm trying to see if we're eyeing this RSI, see if we make a higher low, but price is still moving downward, so you know definitely not ready, but we might be getting to that point where we start to see a reaction at least. Let's see, QRHC, we were eyeing this one for a possible short. We did test the bottom, the neck, and moved back up to the 50 moving average, and it's getting rejected at the 50 moving average. So we'll see if we come back down and break below this 51 level. If we don't, this might actually turn into a bullish possible entry where this becomes sort of a rectangle trading range and moves back up to like 50 to the halfway point and then try to test the all-time highs again. So we'll see. But right now we're still getting rejected by the 50 moving average as resistance. QS, it had a really nice breakout here on a lot of volume and it's coming back down. So I'm trying, keeping an eye on this one for a possible. I had a position on this one and ended up selling for a profit on this spike breakout here. But I'm eyeing this downtrend line for possible support, or the 50 moving average for possible support, or down here at 1912 for possible support. Roku, we have a weekly pattern. If we zoom out, we do have a double top on, which is a bearish sign. But we also have these two bullish sharp patterns that are forming, one smaller than the other. And we're in the PRZ of the first, the smaller pattern, and we are starting to see sort of like a bottom base forming on the MACD and the RSI. The RSI has a bullish divergence here, and I'm sorry, the MACD has a bullish divergence here, and the RSI has to come down below 30 and move back up, tested the 30 again, move back up, tested 30 again, and it's starting to move back up. So this one we might be ready for a long position here if stay in this PRZ and start moving, start making higher lows, or start moving back up from here and start giving us some bullish candlestick patterns. SGBX, I'm still eyeing this one right here, support level around 305. So we did have an inside candle, and we did have like a morning star forming here. We still have this downtrend here. So even though we do have support here, we do a lot of support levels here. We do have a lot of resistance still coming down. So we'll see if we start moving up and actually break out, or if we start moving back down towards the bottom of support. SPFY, we're getting short, so we'll just go ahead and skip this one here. Shop is getting closer to our uptrend channel here. It's getting pretty close. Around 1300 will be a good spot to see if it holds for support.
Yeah, this definitely is on my list of long-term buys. So if we could now get some shares right around that $1,300 level, pretty awesome.
Yeah, especially if from there it starts forming some bullish candlestick patterns and we come below RSI, below 30, and start moving back up again. That'd be really nice. We have this 200 moving average right there as well, so a lot of support.
Yeah.
SKLZ, I was eyeing this one to see if it was going to bounce out, maybe make a triple top here, but we did start moving below it, even though we do have like a bullish divergence here, price is still coming down below. So we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, it could be a fake breakdown based on the volatility in the markets and the VIX spiking and inflation going back up. So, but for now, we'll just leave this one alone. SPSE. We did break below our support level, our pivot point that we had here, but came right back up when the market turned green. So still holding support. And I know MoneyCam is bullish, very bullish on this one. And it is, as long as it keeps holding here, this might be like a good possible, a perfect time to entry for entry now. You know,
Yeah.
this $22 level.
Yeah, this is definitely one that you know I've been eyeing. It has some interesting fundamentals. But I think right now the thing is like ID and I, just because the markets are a little sensitive right now, we're being very picky with which plays that we are entering. Because we want to make sure that anything we alert, it's the best possible alert we can give to the Discord. But you know, sometimes if the opportunities are just too good to pass up, that you know we just have to take a position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see, T-Doc here. T-Doc did break below our support level here at about 129. Like we've been saying all along this stream, it could be a fake breakout just based on the volatility. But even looking at the 200 moving average, it looks kind of valid just only because you have the MACD that's trying to turn bearish and the RSI is making a new low. We do have the 200 moving average here on the 200 on the weekly chart at about 112, and we do have the 78% retracement level at about 98. So so we can kind of create a possible box where this might where this might turn, which we might start to see some bullish volume come in is the 200 moving average on the weekly chart and the 78% retracement level. And then also $89, we do have support down there from price support. So $89 all the way to 112 is a good place for us to start looking at this and seeing if we start seeing those bullish candlestick patterns. You know, inside candles, spinning bottoms, morning stars, something like that, or inside and up, three white soldiers, something that gives us some signals that this might start to reverse.
Yeah, this is again another one of the you know, fundamental long-term plays that we really like, and you know, relative to the market, relative to competitors, this actually has a very attractive PE ratio, price to sales ratio, and we think it's going to be an industry that is really here to stay. So yeah, this is definitely one to keep an eye out for.
TNDM, we're still looking at this one as a possible cup and handle on the monthly chart. So we haven't broken above it. Last month we broke above it and came back below. This month it looks like we're starting to move back towards that resistance level at 123.74. So we'll see if we break out. If we start to break out, we can possibly start taking up a position on it. The indicators, even on the monthly chart, looks really good. Where the MACD is already above zero, and bounce and making a higher low here, and so is the RSI. So yeah, this one might be ready. Especially, I like that it's on the monthly chart because this could be a nice long-term hold, and this could move back all the way back up to $275, $300. You know, it has a lot of resistance. Is way up there, you know. So all-time highs is possible for any company, and this one, is given the right conditions, we might start to see that move back up towards its highs.
Definitely, and yeah, again, like you said, this when you have these patterns that are playing out, like I think it's very rare to find a pattern that for example, a cup and handle forming on the monthly and being able to catch that before it actually happens. You know, that breakout happens. It's a very interesting position to be in. So for us as investors, because this is probably, given that this is on a monthly chart, this is, you know, the monthly, the farther out your pattern is, generally speaking, the stronger the trend. But that also means that it's going to take a lot more time for that trend to play out. This probably would not be something that I would be comfortable, say, you know, trading weeklies on. But you know, if I do options potentially out for 2022, maybe even for 2023, it definitely does appealing, especially if that pattern does come to fruition.
Exactly. TRMB, we were in this on this uptrend channel. We did come and test it. We took our entry here, and it did start violating our support level. So I know it took my stop loss took me out of I think it was like 195, $1.95. Our option took me out. It does look like it's starting to bounce. I mean, but at this point, if it does have a bounce, it's probably just going to come up and test this resistance before coming down. Before coming down again, just because it violated this pretty significant volume after the break. After the day after it broke below it, volume kind of increased. The selling volume really brought pressure on the stock and really brought it down. Let's see, TWLO, we did break the low. We did have a couple of ascending triangles. It broke the low, so those are no longer valid. So I went ahead and deleted them. And we did break below this uptrend line, and so this one is actually a pretty good short until our next support level at about 288 to 254. And we are developing this downtrend here where we have a high, and then a lower high, and then a lower high, and we have a low, and we did have this low, and then now we're having another low. So ideally, this could come all the way down to here, follow this downtrend channel before it bounces back up, and kind of have a pattern that kind of looks like this. Maybe come back up, back down, kind of just moving along this channel. So, this one TLO for now is a short, even though for long term, I mean, we do have a couple of bullish patterns, like a bullish butterfly that's forming, and we have a bullish bat on the higher time frames. And if we can catch those prices down here, that means we can really take advantage of a huge discount. If the butterfly pattern turns real at this support level about 151, then we can actually get a huge discount on this, 50% off. I mean, it's pretty good from where it's at.
Definitely, yeah.
PWO, we did break below this uptrend line, which is like a long-term head and shoulders. So I think this might be a good short, especially if we move back up here and test this resistance level again and come back down. So BCYT. I was expecting to see we would break above here, but we never did. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take this one up for this one list. There it is. We do have Zillow that is in this falling wedge right here. We also have this bearish downtrend channel here as well. But I am trying to see if we can break out right here. I'm bouncing here and break out and kind of move towards the 200 moving average. Won't stop. But if we don't, then we might go ahead and come down. If we do break below, it wouldn't be surprising if we break below this falling wedge support level and come down and test the down the bottom part of the downtrend channel. We do have support level this 78% retracement, but we are still testing the 61% retracement, which is what we were talking about last time. So I mean, that's why I'm watching this level to see if we do break above this downtrend, and if we do, it might be a good entry and play this back up either to the 50 or the 200 moving average of 123. ZM, we are in this PRZ on ZM, and we did test almost all of it. We did have this piercing. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Get a little closer. Yeah, we did have this piercing candle, bullish candle here that formed, followed by gap up in Zoom. So if we come back and test this support level again, and this low right here again, and we bounce on it, this might be a good time to start getting into ZM. Some ZM calls on this one, on this bullish pattern. It could be very rewarding right here, especially if we break it back above 300, 301, and we can kind of close the gap. That'd be nice.
Yeah, this is definitely one I would like you said, I'd probably like to see it test those lows again, or if, at least if not, if we could get a lower high, or sorry, a higher low forming, that would be a pretty good indication that this could be a potential bullish play that we could enter into and see fall. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, look at this. The RSI already went below 30 once.
Yeah, RSI is just absolutely crushed on it. So I mean, really, not a whole lot lower.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. APPS, we did touch on APPS. We did break above this downtrend. We are bouncing back up. After breaking out, we are bouncing back up from support. We do have an alert on that one. DVB is still moving sideways. We are starting to break below this 200 moving average. So I know if we do keep holding this 2691 support level, it could bounce from here and kind of start moving back up towards our target at 48. But yeah, I mean, not looking great, but not looking bad either.
Yeah.
UPST, we did come up and we had a huge move on this one. Came down to test the 20 moving average. It kind of looks bearish here. We have the RSI moving down. The MACD formally bullish that a bullet made a bearish crossover on this one. But it is still in an uptrend. And the weekly we did finish with this inside candle, which can be a warning as well. I mean, not necessarily, but if we do break below the 50 moving average, so this is a perfect. You know, they say follow the 9 and you add up the 26 on the EMAs, where the 10 and the 20 kind of work the same way, where it's a very strong uptrend if it's staying up and then bouncing up the 10 moving average. You can, and they usually say you can add up to 10 and then you can add more of the 20 if it bounces on the 20. But if you do break below the 20, then it might be actually a good short, or it might be good to wait on the side to see if it comes back and comes down and tests the support level like the 50 moving average, or maybe this bottom of this flag right here at about 265. But if we start, Monday is a good day for this company and start moving back up, and you know, this is it's at a perfect level to add to your position or get into this if it continues this a really strong uptrend that we have here.
Yeah, the fundamentals, especially with Upstart, are very, very appealing. Basically, to summarize, I probably have to make a whole video on it. But definitely, if you guys are interested in some fundamental analyses of stocks, definitely let us know down below. We would love to make videos on those as well. But with Upstart, really just try to think of it as a replacement to FICO credit scores. So that is definitely pretty revolutionary. Yes.
That is definitely,
yeah,
definitely. That's industry changing.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Tesla, we do have Tesla that's been moving up. We've been following this uptrend on the Fibonacci fan. We do have this is called a Fibonacci trend strategy, where you kind of have you connect your Fibonacci trend and you use it with your fan to kind of develop support and resistance levels. But we can get into that deeper on another lecture. But it's been following this uptrend, the 78% retracement on the fan Fibonacci tool, and it's been following it to a T. I mean, we had a bounce here, and it's just been following it up here. We are starting to break above the 780 resistance level. And if it does, we can definitely test the 900. It'll be really interesting, like you said earlier, to see how this is going to open on Monday, because they had a delivery. I believe they broke record on their delivery numbers.
Yeah, excellent delivery numbers. And I think Captain Wood actually tweeted comparison to DM. Obviously, DM is producing many vehicles, but Tesla was really not that affected by the chip shortage, and they had really strong numbers. So definitely exciting.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's it for our list. Actually, that's the last one.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. Definitely let us know if you guys have any questions or concerns. As always, We do have the link in our bio for the stocks planning Discord. You can join. We have a 7-day free trial. Come hang out with us. Ask questions about tickers you may have, and just any sort of trading ideas for cryptocurrencies. Feel free to share them. When you get that trial, you actually do get our alerts, so you can actually try our alerts as well and see if you like them or not. So definitely, it is something to consider. But yeah, as always, I'm Cameron, and this is Eddie, and thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. So happy trading.
Happy trading. Be safe.